Would you look at that?
I miss that song. I miss that song a lot.
It's been a little while. It's been a little while since we've heard it.
We've been on holiday. On holiday? We've been away.
I don't know. We were busy.
Oh, we're back. We're back now.
We're back now. We're back.
We're back. Welcome.
We already got a few people watching. That's nice. E30 Birdie's here. Damon's here. Oh, E30. I'll have to touch on what they're talking about. Well, this is what do we call this? We had a word for it eventually. It's called Japanese Knife 101.
That it is.
I screwed up the computer by clicking on other pictures. That's what I did.
What are you doing?
So, this is our, I don't know, we used to call it weekly. It used to be every second weekly. I think it's monthly right now. We
do 3 live shows a month, right?
Yeah.
We do this one, you and I. Then now there's a sharpening one, usually the Tuesday following. And then we do a TV show called Sharpeners Rock.
Yep. So we've got Naoto shows called Naoto's Nerdy Power Hour.
Naoto's Nerdy Power Hour.
Yeah. So next week, Naoto's going to talk about sharpening a Santoku. But this is our But Japanese Knife 101 is our kind of, it's like Knifewear's Ask Me Anything. We often have a bit of a theme. We may or may not get to it.
We have a theme today, and we're getting to it. I have notes.
You have notes?
I have notes.
Good. I've got notes too. But I've also got housekeeping. I'm going to get through the housekeeping first.
I got a knife too.
Ooh, I've got a knife.
Built for kitchen success.
I've got a... Is that what that says?
Yeah, it says built for kitchen success right there.
Give me a second. Oh, yeah, so it does. I think I knew this at the time. I knew that.
Why do you not believe me?
Well, because I've been trained to have to go look for myself sometimes. That's a good little robot.
Anyway, I guess welcome back. Do we have any announcements before we get going? Because today we're going to talk about, there's a good chance that you're watching this because you got a gift as a knife as a gift for Christmas. So we're going to let you know how to take care of it, how to water it, how to feed it, how to groom it, and what to do when you go on holidays.
Oh. So, I'll do the housekeeping. How's that sound? I'll get through it all. So we hinted at Sharp Knives Rock, which is our more, I don't know if we can call it polished, but we try a little bit harder. It's our monthly, you know what? If it wasn't on YouTube and it was on a TV, we call it a TV show. But, we usually have guests. We put together some, extra special content for it. A lot of giveaways. It's always worth checking out. So
we're always giving away stuff. And this time we're giving away 3 knives.
3. Yeah. We've got 3 given away.
One of them is this one right here in my hand.
Yeah. And this is one too.
Built for kitchen success.
Yeah.
Yuki Zampa. Ooh, look at that.
So if you're interested in getting free stuff, if you're interested in getting free knives, you should check out Sharp Knives Rock on January 31st. We're talking about bacon. We're talking about photography. We've got some knives we're giving away. It should be quite a bit of fun.
We've got some guests. We've got a couple of hotshot photographers. Neil Zeller from Calgary is joining us, and then Visti Care, who did the photography for my book. He's joining us. They're going to do Chopstick Challenge.
Yeah, we changed the rules.
If you haven't seen Chopstick Challenge, well, you clearly haven't lived. We've changed the rules to simplify it a bit, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah,
because some people had a real hard time.
Yeah, not me. It was the last time I did it. I don't even think I was there.
You were drunk.
I don't even think I showed up that day.
Hey, listen, John says he ran out of pickles, but then he made some. It's good.
Yeah.
Top kitchen hack there.
There we good. Hashtag life hacks. So I guess that's another bit of news. If you want to, kind of follow along and see all the goofy stuff that we get up to, Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Just this past week, we've had 2 really fun videos come out. I don't know what we called them. Some like a reaction video. Kevin and I sat down and reviewed and commented upon a bunch of different, YouTube videos about cooking, and then like TikTok things. I know TikTok happens a lot, but I've yet to make a TikTok. But I watched a bunch.
I'm on there all the time doing the dances. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. To be honest with you, Kevin, when I got the little notification for us reacting to TikToks, didn't even remember that we did it.
I didn't know it was TikTok we're looking at.
So that was fun. We've got a couple of other big things. If you remember last year, Kevin, Alex, and myself did the Operation Come Home $24 challenge, and that's coming up again. So Kevin and I have raised our hands. We're going to do it, but we're also being joined by a bunch of our staff across.
Mike's joining. Adam's coming in from Edmonton. Mike from Calgary.
Nathan, I think, said he's going to do it. Megan's going to do it too. I think there was a couple other people in Calgary as well. I can't remember. I know Sammy was interested. So we'll see how it goes. Really, the gist of it is that we are given, or we're going to have $24 to spend on the food that we're going to eat for the week. And we do this in an effort. Well, $24, like after someone kind of crunched all the numbers and realized after, kind of basic bills and whatnot, if there is a client at Operation Come Home, so that's a group that we work with here in Ottawa who specialize in helping at-risk youth, if they've, paid their rent on their community housing, they've bought their subsidized bus pass, all of these things, they're left with approximately $24 a week to spend on groceries, which is not very much money.
That is such an indictment of minimum wage, I think. Right?
Well, yeah, because that's also like they're working a small amount to earn, there's a whole thing. Like if you check out Operation Come Home, there's a much better breakdown than what I'm capable to do here, because I'm not good at math. Which is a shame, I guess.
Which is why we're good at sharpening knives, mopping floors, and selling knives.
Yeah, can't do math. So keep an eye on that. It's not till February 6th, but it's better to we start talking about it now. If you feel like if you got a little extra coin kicking around and you want to give it to a good cause, keep an eye on our social media. I think Nathan put a link in the description of this video if it's something you'd like a little more information on. We're always happy for the support, and we're happy to help them out as well.
Yeah, I want to make a quick point too. We're not doing this. We're not trying to live for a week on $24 of food. It's not like some kind of somebody accused me last year of a poverty cosplay. It's the idea that we're trying to gain some perspective personally, but also to raise awareness and raise some money for a great cause. It's not about, I'm doing poverty cosplay.
Yeah.
I did plenty of that already. I don't need to do it again for cosplaying.
Yeah. What else have we got here? We got a couple of new toys kicking around.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me put the picture up.
New stuff coming in. Yeah. So we got these new barbecues
called Aka-chan.
Aka-chan, which I just learned. Aka is red, and chan, which I knew, is like a word for it's something you say like a little kid. Like I call Alex, for instance, I call him Baba-chan.
Yeah, well, because in Japan, everybody has an honorific. So if I was talking to Chris, I would say Lord San or Mr. Lord. San means like Mr. or Mrs., right? It's gender neutral, but it also means it means Mr. or Mrs. But Chan means child.
Okay.
right? So you would talk to Fergus Chan.
Yeah.
If you had a child named Fergus, for example.
If you did. Which I suppose I
And
do.
boys can be called coon as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
After about 4, between kind of 4 and 16 or 18, they can be called coon.
Oh, okay.
Chan's common. And Chan is a really good nickname for your buddy if you want to kind of make fun of him for being small or younger than you.
Like Muchan.
Like Muchan.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird. When I got to go to Japan with Kevin and we were hanging out with the Hinoras, that was a cat let out of a bag while we were there. Was that a bunch of the other blacksmiths call Mitsumi Hinora Muchan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were kind of letting us in, a little bit of an inside joke there. So yeah, we've got those new grills. They're a little bit smaller than the.
I'll put them up again.
Yeah, pop it up there again. So they're, think of the smaller Conroe size, suitable for some, some quick grilling. Bring it along to the park. Bring it to, keep it in your trunk during the summer.
It's a good camping and picnic one, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or apartment.
$25.
It's got a little room on your balcony. It's a good apartment one.
Yeah.
And I would
Don't
bet
get kicked out of your apartment building, though.
If you had a good exhaust fan in your kitchen, I'll bet you'd cook it in your kitchen too.
Yeah, you want to make sure it's like pipe in the air outside.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's what I mean. You need like a strong fan.
Yeah. Like the real ones.
Not the ones that just have a little filter and a vent that goes into your cupboard.
Like what I've got.
Yeah,
you don't want the one I've got.
No.
No, that's why my house is so smoky.
I thought it
cook like it's a restaurant, but I don't. No, I don't know
what that is. I have no idea.
No. Something left over from Naoto, probably. So we got some new videos up. We got some new toys. We're doing some stuff with Operation Come Home. We got new Sharp Knives Rock coming up.
And then knives at that one, that'd be fun.
Yep. We got 3 knives we're giving away.
And it's a photography contest, so you're going to have to take your photos of sexy knives.
Yeah.
And send them to us, and then the winner wins. There's 3. And then 3 knives to give away. So
there's 3 different winners, right?
3 different winners, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Super fun.
That'll be fun. Well, do you want to start talking about how to care for a knife, or do you want to cruise through some of this chat real quick?
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see. We had some chat. There was a question here I saw. Yeah. Somebody had said they're buying some knives. Ben says, we've got some knives lacquer coating coming that should be removed prior to use, or should it be removed? I don't know. Which knives are you talking about, Ben? Let me know which knives, and I can give you a better answer.
Oh, I bet you he's talking about something like, you know how like a Masakage Mizu had that lacquer on there?
Yeah, well, like,
or a Murata?
I don't want to make a blanket statement because all the ones we carry like that, you don't have to remove the lacquer. But some knives you do in the world. And for example, same with our those little woks we carry.
Yeah. Those ones you got to burn. You got to burn that off.
Don't burn the coating off your knife. Just scrub it off.
Yeah. Michael's got a question here about using an oil like linseed or tongue oil on wah handles. I just use the Knifewear board wax when my handles get dry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could. Like, there's no reason not to use those things so long as they're not going to make you sick if you accidentally get it in your mouth.
Yeah, no,
that's the big thing you want to keep in mind, right?
I don't know about those. I know linseed oil goes rancid as well, so it smells bad sometimes. But I use the board wax. It's mineral oil and beeswax. Yeah, and it does a great job on the handles, and it does a great job on your cutting boards.
Yeah. So we're waiting on Ben to get back to us. Oh, Andrew's got a point here that we might want to talk on, saying, sad to see the Kamuri and the Koi lines go.
Right. Our man Masashi-san's kind of rejigging how he does things because he needs to streamline things a bit differently. Well, he's got 2 new basically it was like this. He used to work alone. Now he's got 2 employees. So he's trying to figure out a way to get them involved more. And so he's got 2 new ideas for new lines to replace the Koi and the Kamuri.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but we haven't seen them yet. Have you seen them? I haven't seen them.
You know what? I don't know what he has up his sleeve yet. Naoto has seen a photo of one of them. but he won't tell me much about it. So we'll see.
That
Information as it comes out.
That means you should watch Naoto's show next week and pester him about it.
Oh, good thinking. Good thinking.
Good thing. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Andrew giving me a hard time about being a fire code expert. I think, Andrew, if I was a fire code expert, I would not have had the fire department show up to the store. Just saying.
Yeah, why did you have the fire department show up at the store?
Well, it turns out that you can't sear lamb on a gas burner inside a retail store.
Because then the fire alarm goes, and then it calls the fire department.
Smoke detector goes off, fire department shows up, camera's still on.
That could be embarrassing, right? That could be embarrassing.
You know what? Not the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me. Not even the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me at work. So we've got someone was talking about Kobayashi red handles. Those are nice. Yeah, those are a neat handle. This Old Dominion Smoke here has got a comment about the Kobayashi red handles. I haven't had one come through my shop in a while, but he's talking about those like 7-sided.
Oh, I know the ones. My nephew saved up his money from his job working at the farmer's market and bought one. He likes those. That's a cool knife. So
I really like the fit and finish.
My 14-year-old nephew, of course, he lives with his family still, but he keeps his knife in his bedroom. His knife lives in a box. It lives in a box and stays in his room. They're not allowed to use it. It's his. I think that's funny. Oh,
it's great. Yeah. Well, that's what, we meet so many people like come into the shop, like, either they've got roommates or it's usually like a roommate situation, but they leave their knives in their room, hide them away. Now I'm getting made fun of for cutting onions again. You guys keep ragging on me. I'm going to stop coming. So, well, what do you think, Kevin, is important? Like, let's just pretend for a second. Everybody who's watching, they've all probably got knives, but maybe they've given someone a knife over Christmas and that person needs some help taking care of it. Maybe they got a knife over Christmas and they need some help taking care of it. Where would you start? What does someone need to know about taking care of their brand new knife?
Oh, here, hold on a second. Before we get on there, Ben has come back and said,
Takeda.
And some other non-stainless clad knives I've heard can be coated to prevent rust. Takeda knives are not coated with anything except maybe a touch of camellia oil. But yeah, some knives are coated with a food grade varnish. Some may have to remove. I don't know. If we sell it, you don't have to remove any coating from the knife. They're food grade and ready to go. Yeah. But I know people buy knives elsewhere sometimes. I can't imagine.
It happens.
Can't imagine.
It happens, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
No sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So, Chris, there's people here talking about maybe we should talk about this reaction videos because it seems there's some comments here.
Yeah, people seem to enjoy it.
What happened is they got Chris and I really tired by making us work too hard. And then they made us drink beer, and then they ate pizza in front of us because they wouldn't let us have any food. And then they stuck a camera in our face and said, "Be nice."
I also drank a bottle of peppermint schnapps that day.
You drank the most of a bottle of peppermint schnapps, so we had a couple of beer in us before we even showed up. Yeah. And then they said things like, "Watch these videos and tell us what you think." And they showed us the stupidest videos possible. And I'll bet we were mean. I haven't watched them yet, but I have a feeling we were probably awful and mean.
I watched them, and I would probably say everything again.
Kitchen hacks.
Yeah.
Right? And the guy said, I got this really great kitchen hack. If you run out of pickles, and then he showed you how to make vinegar, water, salt, and sugar, and some herbs or whatever, and then put cucumbers in it. So he showed you how to make pickles.
Yeah, it wasn't a life hack. It was a recipe.
It was just, if you run out of pickles, make pickles.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of intelligence of videos they made us watch.
Or what about the craft dinner? Do you remember the craft dinner?
I don't remember the craft dinner. What was that one?
Someone brought it up here. So someone started making craft dinner. Okay. How, you probably haven't made craft dinner in a long time.
You boil it, you throw the noodles in, you dump the water, you put a butter and some milk in a packet and stir it.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. So that's not what this person did.
No.
Their kitchen hack was you put the macaroni in the cold water, you turn up the heat, then and while it's coming to a simmer, they added the cheese powder and they cooked the water down and then they threw milk in. It was terrible.
What? I remember just being irritated.
And then they frisbeed a couple of craft singles in there at the end. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, people don't cook like that.
No, don't. You know what? You can eat craft dinner if you're in a bind. It's fine. My kids get it sometimes. It's not for me.
I ran out of pickles and then went to the store and bought more. Life hack.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I'm thinking about it now. I'm passing a bit of judgment on Nathan and Chris for finding those videos. I feel like they would have found those on their own time and they just saved them.
That's what they do up in Edmonton. They just watch TikTok videos about cooking.
Yeah.
That's how Chris learned to cook.
TikTok.
That's how Chris Garbage learned how to cook, actually. He was saying that. He was saying
TikTok and time travel.
Yeah, he learned how to make, something that they would cook on TikTok. Craft dinner.
Yeah. Ugh. Just terrible. Just terrible. So, but yeah, that video's there if you want to watch it. It's here on the YouTube channel. There's the TikTok one, and then we watched some YouTube videos. There's a guy who just mixed together 3 bags of shredded cheese and said that was a recipe. And who else? There was someone who kept trying to cut their hand open with trying to dice a mango. There's a lady who made a sandwich out of a squirrel. There's all kinds of weird stuff.
The squirrel sandwich was good, though. They went and shot a squirrel, cooked it, and made a sandwich. I liked that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it was something to see. Something to see.
I haven't.
So, but apparently there's a couple other. I do remember when I was in Calgary that day, we shot 2 other videos. I did there's a Mike and I talked about movie scenes, foodie movie scenes. And then there was, you know what, Adrian, you're fired. I've had enough of this onion video nonsense. I'm never dicing an onion for you people again.
What are you saying, Chris?
Oh, Adrian's here razzing me about it.
You made that video and you showed how to cut an onion where you peeled it, cut it in half, and then did these frankly useless horizontal cuts, superfluous, and then diced your onion that way, right? And then somebody called you out on it, and then you got really angry and threw an axe through a wall. Is that how the story went?
No, the axe went through the wall. That was something you did. That was chopstick challenge nonsense. Is what put the axe through the wall. I just pushed a bookshelf in front of it now. This is the bookshelf in front of that hole. Well, we got a couple more reaction videos coming out. There's one where Mike and I talk about scenes in movies, and Naoto and I don't know if they'll ever put it out, but Naoto and I get a look at sharpening gizmos.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I've never used any of those. You know that?
I used one once. I used to have one of those Fisker rolly things because there was a store here in Ottawa that sold Mac knives. And when you bought a Mac, they told you this is the best way to keep it sharp.
Was it?
And then because you'd burn through your knife in a year, and then they'd sell you another one. It was a good idea on their part.
You should sell those.
Yeah, they had everybody. They had everybody going. That's for sure. So don't do that. But here, let's talk about what we're supposed to talk about.
Right.
Change the caption. How to care for your new Japanese knife. What do you think is important, Kevin?
Well, I think first things first, right? I think the big questions people ask us when they get a first knife is, how do you clean it?
Yeah.
How do you store it? How do you keep it sharp?
Wow, those are all the things I wrote down.
Yeah, well, that's the things, right? So how do you wash your knife? Do you take your beautiful, this is my Masakage Shimo 240 millimeter
Mm.
prototype. This is a really old one. That's before Masakage was a thing, really. So do you just take this thing and chuck it in the dishwasher?
No, of course you don't.
Are you sure? Why not?
Well, because the dishwasher's bad. I don't put anything I like in the dishwasher.
True. So knives like this, good knives, if you put them in the dishwasher, they're going to rust, even if they're stainless steel, and you're going to destroy the handles. Easier, when you're doing the dishes, get your wet soapy cloth, clean the blade. If you must, clean the handle real quick, give it all a rinse off, dry it, and then hang it on your storage rack like that.
Yeah.
If you have one of those, I reckon. So if you're going to store it, have something on the wall like that. Bum. Have one of those blocks that sits on your camera. But make sure the spine runs along the wood like that. Or get one of these guys. So you can just pop it on the blade like that. And then you put it in a drawer. Or yeah, like one of those. I've got one of those. I like that.
Yeah, these are awesome. So then your knife, I don't have it. All the knives I have. Oh no, there's lots of knives behind me. You know, and now, right? What's important when you're storing your knife is that you don't now this isn't a Kiri, maybe it's not the right knife to choose for this conversation, but you want to make sure your knife actually fits in the block. You don't want it to rest on the point. You don't want it to run across the wood over and over again, because then it's like you're using it at that point. You know, you might not damage anything, but things might not go as they might not stay sharp as long as you want them to. But yeah, wash and dry. What about what happens if you don't dry it off real well, Kevin?
This one here, especially since it's white carbon steel, but look how beautiful it is now. But this one here will rust in seconds. Like under a minute, I'll have rust on it. So to avoid that rust, if the rust is just a previous, wipe it off, right?
Yeah.
And then dry it and put it away. So here's my life hack: is if you have a wet knife, dry it.
There we go. I think Don Penny said that.
I know I stole it from Don. I stole
# life hack. When your knife is wet, dry it off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Someone had mentioned camellia oil as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should talk about this, Chris, because this is more important in Ottawa than if you're in Calgary.
Yeah, so camellia oil is it comes from camellia flowers, and it's a really traditional choice for rubbing into steel, like razors, knives, if you had decorative swords and things like that, any kind of high carbon steels. And what happens is you buff that oil into the steel, and it kind of penetrates the steel a little bit and gives you a protective coating. The reason why Kevin says it's important here in Ottawa as opposed to Calgary is because it's really humid in Ottawa during the summer, and the humidity in the air can cause some of your knives to rust. That's always been my biggest problem. Is it's not the knives that I use on a regular basis that rust, it's the ones that I put away. So if I'm not using I've got an old a Moritaka Kiritsuke that I've kicked the crap out of.
You bought that knife for its first day of existence in Ottawa.
I did, yeah, and I have put that knife through its paces. But I had some trouble with rust on it because I put a chip in it and the knife was a little bit smaller, and I started using something else for a bit. So I just wrapped it up in some newspaper and stuck it in my toolbox, and just the humidity in the air made the knife rust. So, Kevin's showing you here, you just put a couple of drops of this oil on either side of the knife and you buff it in, and it'll give you a good layer of protection. Excuse me. I really like it for razors as well. If you're into straight razors, it's a really good thing to have around. I've got how many do I have? Probably got
straight razors. You've got a lot.
I've got 10 or 11 of them, and I use 2 of them regularly. Well, as regular as I say regularly, I shaved on Saturday, but
You missed a spot.
I shaved parts of my face on
You
Saturday.
missed a spot.
Mackie liked that one. Mackie's chuckling on the other side of the room. Andrew is asking, how long of a knife will this box handle? So this one is, so if you're on our website, these are the Sticks and Boards knife blocks. This is the smallest one, and this will fit like a, I don't know if, I think it might fit a 210. I got a 210 handy. I'm going to do that. But they make 2 other sizes. I'm going to check before. No, 210's too big for this one. So this will fit your Santokus and your Nikiris.
But I have a bigger one that a 210 fits in. I got 240 fits in the bigger one.
There's an even, the biggest one we sell will fit your 270 slicer.
Oh.
And it's wide enough to fit a Fujiwara 195 Nikiri.
Which is a monster.
Yeah. So I picked the 2 when Glenn made those for us and we were trying to figure out dimensions. I picked the 2 biggest knives that most people might have.
Right.
Which I figure was a 270. And you know, if you got like a Moritaka Nikiri or a Masakage Nikiri, you'd want to make sure they were big enough. So, but they're great. He makes them out of walnut and maple.
So on to storage. I really like these wooden magnets, right? We sell these here. I really like these guys.
Yeah.
Even through the plastic, it holds on there. The wood is good because it doesn't cut your knives up. The steel ones can really scratch your knives badly. So if you like your knives, get one of these, the wooden kind, though.
I've seen people like on those like metal toolbars. If you're not careful putting your knives up, I've seen people chip
in the blade. Yep. Sorry to run you over.
No, it's it. But that's not the magnet. Because some people ask, like, is it okay to store my knives on a magnet? Like, I don't. Somewhere along the way, people have kind of gotten in their heads that the magnetism somehow might be damaging to the knives. Not the case whatsoever. But it is like how you put them on and take them down. Like, so if you've got like a nicer finish on your knife, and we're going to pretend that my phone is a magnet, you want to put spine on and then fold your, like, lay the knife down.
Yeah.
That's how you get on there, right?
Like this.
Makes it easier to take on and put on and take off as well. So.
Now, you did see me just go like this. And flap it on there. But that's maybe don't always do what I do. You'll also see me honing rod this way, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. So I think we should talk about these guys too. So the storage ways that we prefer are on the block that sits on the table, like that one you showed from Sticks and Stones. The plastic blade guards. So these are cheap and cheerful. They're like $10-$12, and they're fleece lined, so they're fluffy, so they don't cut your knife up. And the knife just slides in. Boom.
Yeah.
Protect it like that, and you can stick it in a drawer. This is how I travel with mine. If I'm traveling with them, I'm taking them on holiday to that Airbnb that's always got the flexible steak knives. Hey, Chris, hold on. I just noticed that Garbage is in the back. He's backstage right now.
He is.
Can we turn him off?
Like, you mean like let him in?
No, just can we kick him out?
I don't know how.
That's why I'm asking.
I figured out how.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we can just boot him. I was gonna edit his name, but he made his name Garbage anyways.
So there's the blade guard. These, like I said, I like the wooden ones. This one's really dry. If you see, it's not really taken care of because it's not actually installed currently. But you just need a bit of this board wax again. This stuff, the Knifewear board wax here. We worked on this to make it a really good finish for the board, like the cutting boards we sell, but also the knife handles and these guys. So it's not too greasy and it's not too, I don't know, it's just got the right balance in my mind of the grease versus the wax. I'm just gonna wax my wood now.
There you go. On YouTube, you can't do that on YouTube.
I'm doing
People
it.
get upset.
People get
What do we got
about
here?
everything,
We
Chris.
got. I'm gonna let Garbage in. He's looking for something to do. He can hang
He's
out.
come back, has he?
There he is.
Hello, Chris Garbage. I hope you're going to tell us we're doing a very good job on the show today.
Well, I mean, except for the part where you're trash talking me, but other than that, it's been acceptable.
That's what they show up for. So what do we got here? We got I'm just looking through the comments real quick. A lot of agreeing about metal magnet bars making a mess of your knives. Tape the edge with masking tape and vacuum seal it for a long term. If you have a machine. Oh, you're talking about like, I'm not going to vacuum seal my knives, Damon. That's too much.
Do you know what you can do if you're going to store them for a long time? Put some of the oil on them, stick on one of these.
Yeah. Adrian is asking about the price of this box is $120, or at least that's what the tag says, Adrian. $120. That's not bad.
There's a comment here. It says, if you want to ruin a bunch of knives and make Naoto mad, ride a huge bicycle right next to them.
That sounds
technically
like
it was a
foolish
tricycle
thing to do. Yeah, it's not even a real bike.
Yeah, we kind of accidentally made a live video where I was riding a large penny farthing bike around and I fell into a whole table full of knives that were open. And I survived. But we did damage some knives, and Naoto was very cross with me. When I say was very cross, I think he's still very cross with me.
I think you keep saying we, but I had nothing to do with it.
I was busy garage sailing that day. I didn't even see it live.
I think he must mean the royal we. He means the royal we. That's what it is.
I don't know that there was anything royal about it.
I just got a text message. I got a text message from Paul Ferlot, who says, #lifehack. I ran out of pickled red onions for the ham and cheese sandwiches I was making. So I used a Japanese knife to cut up a red onion and made more pickled red onions. He understands. He understands what life hacks are.
That's a life
And
hack.
he texted you that. That's good. That's good of him.
Kevin, are you calling me on purpose right now?
Just,
Like we're already talking. And Kevin's
you know what I like to, you know what I like to do when my friends are on live TV is I like to call them and see if they turn.
Yeah, but you're. Oh, of course I did. Of course I did.
It's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing to do.
What about? Okay, Rob is saying, any tips for oiling a Kurochi finish knife? I find that any of my kitchen towels or paper towels leave bits of themselves on the rougher sections of mine.
Oh, just do what I did. Use your fingers.
Yeah, and then let it soak in a bit. Kind of like putting the wax on the cutting boards.
Yeah, I just use my fingers.
Sven, a tip for storing regular use knives in a very humid environment, stores them with a stash of desiccant beads. Those are the do not eats that you find in a bag of beef jerky. The do not eats.
Don't eat those.
That would work. You know, we've got some of those in the cases here in Ottawa, like plugged into the front. I don't know if they've been there for years. I've never done anything about it. I don't know if they go bad, but
okay.
I'm still
Now
not
that
gonna
I've
eat
got both of you Chris's here, I got a question for you. How's the weather in your town, Armit or Lord first? Because I heard you both got snow.
Oh yeah, we got a ton of snow.
I guess I can start with this. We were supposed to get what they were calling a snow Mageddon. No, I don't know what they were calling it, but we were supposed to have snow and thunder, a snow thunderstorm. And you know what
I've
happened
never
here?
seen that before.
Oh, I know. Snow and lightning. It's really cool. Do you know what happened? Nothing. It got a
Oh,
little bit windy at about 2 a.m. and that's it. But Lord, did you guys get some snow up there?
yeah, we got like 50 centimeters of snow.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah. I
How
tried
many
to get
times
to
did you
work
shovel?
yesterday, but I couldn't. Yesterday, I shoveled my driveway 3 times. Like the full thing, 3 times. Now, I had a lot of help. It was gym class for my children all day. You know?
Home learning. Home learning.
It was the weirdest weather day ever here yesterday, because I think when I walked the dog in the morning, it was 3 degrees above zero. And by the time I went to bed, it was minus 23 degrees. And so everything was like slushy and goopy, and then it froze. And so the roads are just a disaster here.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin also has his ringer off, in case anyone was curious.
So you guys are playing ringer tag.
Yeah. So what else we got? Oh, Don Penny has a joke that Kevin will like. If your knife gets magnetized, it gets stuck to the iron in your beef when slicing brisket.
Ooh, that's something. That is something.
And then David says his 195 Denka doesn't fit in his sticks and board block, which is the biggest one. You must have just got extra Denka then. You just got a little extra knife. That's okay.
Is it a Nakiri? Like, is it too tall to fit in it? That's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, but that's like that's what we measured them against when Glenn first made them. You might have just got a little extra. That's all right. Fujiwara does that sometimes. It's because he likes you. What else we got here?
This is interesting. And this kind of makes sense. Maybe this is the problem about storing your knife on a magnet. If you store your knife with the blade facing the same direction, you become vulnerable to bending the handle where you grab the. So I guess if it's on the magnet the same spot and you're always kind of prying it off, you could bend it a certain way. I hadn't thought of that.
But maybe that's where the kind of the spine tiltiness could come handy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never really
I went to culinary school.
You just need more knives and to rotate them in more frequently, and then you don't have that problem.
There we go. Chris knows what's up. What's Admiral Longstash saying? A Naniwa Pro 2K and a Shapton 12K is coming in my possession. What coarse stone would you recommend as a step up? And
4 and 8. Go 2, 4, 8,
in
12.
between those two. 2, 4, 8, 12. Yeah.
You'll get that Knifewear 4 and the Knifewear 8. Those are two of the best middle stones between those in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. That's why Nelton and I made that set. We worked in that a lot to just get the stones we wanted. So
and get a Naniwa Pro 400. And then you can go, because I go from that 400 to a 2000 sometimes. I like it. Well, it's because he's already got the 2000. If he had a 1000, I'd say get the 220. But I like that 400 with that mix, you know?
Fair enough.
Just opinion, though. You know? Don Penny's on the hunt. Just Don Penny, go buy a bunch of beef jerky and save them. Anyone have a good life hack for shark encounters?
Bite them back. Bite them back.
It's because of the Don Penny bit of shark. I just thought he was eating jazzy bears. That guy.
What's a jazzy bear, Chris? Is that like a left-handed cigarette?
It's like a left-handed chocolate bar, but it's a gummy bear instead.
Got it. Yeah. I hear that.
And Mecky's laughing again. Mecky hadn't heard me call it a jazzy bear.
I hear that you're not supposed to eat the whole packet at once. I hear that's too much jazz. I hear
it is. Yeah.
All that jazz.
It's on repeat.
Do you dance when you get jazzy?
No, I fall asleep.
That sounds right.
Our bristled scrub brush is recommended for cleaning a knife instead of a sponge. Should it rest on a flat surface while scrubbing to prevent bending the blade? I think, Ben, if you're like pushing on the side of a knife so hard you're going to bend it, you should probably chill out a bit.
Yeah.
Like the only reason that you'd have to scrub a knife that hard or with something bristly is because you didn't clean it when you were supposed to. And now it's like,
or there's rust on it, you need to get it off. So I always just put it on a flat surface and scrub it with the. What I generally do is I put a towel down, like I'll put a towel down, and then I'll put the knife so the edge is cutting into the towel. So when I scrub, I'm not going to cut my fingers off. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Great.
I grabbed some of this because I assumed that this was going to come up today. The barkeeper's friend is really good for if you've just got some like gentle scrubbing to do.
Yeah. And I cleaned some stainless pots with that recently. I may have had a small blender. I may have got a whole bunch of ocean water in a pot. And
Did you
then
try to make salt?
Well, I did successfully make salt, but I also then burnt it after it turned into salt. Then it burnt, and because I was fishing and I forgot. And when I came back, I almost burnt down the cabin.
Oh, wow.
But I ruined the pot also. So I scrubbed it quite a bit with that. I got really clean, but there's still like little black pits in it. So if you boil salt water to dry and then burn the salt that's in there, you really wreck your all-clad pots. Just saying.
Yeah, you would.
Just say goodbye to it.
Live and learn. Live and learn.
There you go. That's my life hack of the day.
Don't boil
If
water.
you run out of salt, just buy salt. Don't make it yourself.
Have kids so you don't have to shovel your own driveway. That's nice. Old Dominion smoke.
How about what's the best way to care for an end grain cutting board?
Oh, that's good.
Chris Armitage, you tell us all about it, and then we're going to kick you out.
Board wax. Use the Knifewear
How do you
board
wash
wax.
it? How do you wash it? What do you do?
I
How do you
don't.
dry it? What do you do?
I use a soapy sponge. Wipe it down. Do not submerge
Chris
it.
just licks it.
You're good. No.
Dog.
No, soapy sponge. Wipe it off. Dry it. Don't submerge it. Don't put it in the dishwasher. And then if it's starting to feel dry, use that stuff that Kevin's showing you, the board wax.
Yeah.
Also great on your hands. I put it on my fingers before I sharpen, so you don't get that nails on the chalkboard feeling.
He's been talking about this for a little while.
I'm obsessed
He's telling
with
the
it.
truth. He told me about it like in November.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Chris. Thanks for joining us. Oh, he got canceled. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, he got fired. I didn't click on anything.
I didn't either. Maybe. There you go.
What else we got here? Yeah, he did get a Nikiri. David did get a 195 Nikiri, and it's got a little extra. But it gave him a reason to get a 3-knife stand. Well, there you go. It sounds like it's all working out for you. What else we got? Oh, DJ Sergiotto is asking, why do we rarely stock the red pack of wood yo-handled Dankas? They're hard to find.
Yes, they are.
I'll tell you a secret, DJ. If we don't have it, it's because it's hard to get. Just to keep it simple. We get them when we can. Usually it's around garage sale.
Yeah, it's
That's
usually
the
around
best
visits to Fujiwara land, because if I ask him, he says he doesn't have any, but if I go and visit him, I see them, he lets me buy them then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But he generally says, oh, I don't have those.
Yeah, he's a trickster. He's a tricky old fella.
Well, he's very Fujiwara.
It is, yeah. And then look, E30 Birdie, in going back to our talk about larchwood cutting boards, end grain cutting boards, and this is a really good, I like this quite a bit. Salt on the end grain and rubbing a lemon over them really helps with smells. That's something that larchwood.
I bet that would smell lovely.
Yeah, it does a really good job if you need to get a bit of a deeper clean on your larchwood. It's recommended by the folks over there too. It's a good.
That's what Dawn helped us, because somebody had brought a board in that had some mold on it. Remember that? They got some mold in their board.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing. They must have just left it wet and put something on it so it just didn't dry.
Yeah. Or if they were hard on it. Like I've seen a couple of boards where people have been like going to town with a bread knife or a cleaver. They leave some kind of chunks in the board, you know? Yeah, it's nasty business. DJ's asking if we got any new interesting knives already in sight for the next garage sale. What's that? That's going to be May. May is the next garage sale.
You know what? Around Christmas time, the blacksmiths are cleared out.
Yeah.
So we're kind of waiting for the stock to rebuild. But I know that Masashi's working on some stuff. I know that Moritaka's working on some stuff for us. And there'll be some of those bowling ball handled Katos and Kurosaki's again, for sure. Shibata from Masakagi Knives and from Ironclad Knives and Tinker Knives is saying he's got something new. I think he was hinting that he's got a new Tinker idea.
Oh, that's
so there might be a new Tinker. I'm not going to say there's going to be one until it's in my hand.
Yeah. Well, what's he got so far?
Sheep's making some noise. He's got the Shark
He's got
tooth Deba, that big Deba, and then
Yeah.
that single edge slicer. It's like a Yanagiba, but it's not. And he calls it saber tooth. It's got a bit of a curve.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
he's got the tank, obviously. The tank's probably the most sought after
Yeah.
knife.
Someone was asking for one the other day in the store.
Oh, and we got some Tetsujins coming in. The iron flow or steel flow ones. We've got those coming in right away.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I don't know. That's it for now, but it's still a few months away.
Yeah, it's still pretty early.
Yeah. Something interesting. I'm working on a new
yeah.
book, Chris. I'm working on two new books.
Oh, that's fun.
One is about knife sharpening, and one is about the most dangerous food.
Not the most dangerous game.
No, that's human. The most dangerous food, and I'm not talking sugar. I'm talking fugu.
Oh,
That's my imitation of a puffer fish.
that was a good one. I knew exactly what it was. Now, somehow you just need to like show that the spikes somehow. That's a fugu face. Yeah. Yeah.
But that fugu book's not going to come out until I can get to Japan because I've got about 5 places lined up already.
Okay.
And Naoto's actually got a good contact for the fugu who likes to tell lots of Yakuza stories and has loads of tattoos. So the photos should be great. And Visti Care, our photographer with the last book, has been bugging me for another trip out there again as soon as we can.
Well, there you go.
So watch for the fugu and a sharpening book coming out maybe this year.
Cool. That'd be fun.
So I'd write it instead of just talking about it.
Paul says everything he knows about fugu he learned from The Simpsons. That would have been the first place I heard about it.
Most people, that's all they know. So I'll watch that episode and learn something too, and then maybe add to it. So I've had fugu a bunch of times. In fact, the first time I had fugu, Chris, I ended up in the kitchen with the chef slicing the sashimi for our table.
Ooh.
Yeah, someone said, "Oh, this foreigner over here, he's a chef. He can help you." So I was back there with a brand new honyaki blade. We had just delivered him a honyaki slicer, and he took 2 slices with it and gave it to me, and then had me do about 12 slices of sashimi from this fugu.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you though, like I had to put your hand on the fish, right, and then do the slice. Well, that fish underneath, it was like I could feel all the muscles kind of twitching.
Oh yeah,
because it's that fresh, right? And I'm trying to slice this rubbery fish, and it has to be paper thin because you have to be able to see the pattern of the plate through the fish.
Yeah.
Oh, I was terrible at it. I had the perfect knife and the perfect instruction and the no skills.
No
and
skills.
He kept saying things like, "You said you're a chef?" "Yeah, but not a sashimi chef."
Yeah.
But didn't compute for him. So I finally just said, "I make hamburgers." It was easier.
Yeah.
Just easier. Hamburger chef.
Yeah. That's what you should get on a business card. Hamburger chef. That'd be good. Damon says my fantasy where Mike has to dig up a stash of secret knives to pay Kevin's ransom to the Yakuza is one step closer to reality.
Well,
that'd make a pretty interesting story.
We'll have to tell Mike where the stash of knives is.
Yeah. E30 Birdie is saying, dang, Kevin, I wish I lived in Canada to come visit and pick up knives. Imports just killer in the EU. I've heard that.
Well, vote differently.
Yeah, that's.
Do you know where the
really
EU is not? You know, I'll tell you what. Who isn't getting killed with EU duties anymore? Britain. Wow.
Yeah.
Have they shot themselves in the foot? I don't know what they've done over there.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that in a long time.
Well, I do because I'm dual citizen, right? I'm English on paper anyway. Lived there for a bunch of years, and just what a gong show! What a gong show!
Oh, what about here? Let's go back to our. Let's bring it back there. We caught up on. So we talked about storage, and we talked about washing your knife, washing and drying your knife. What
handles? How do you take care of the handle, Chris? Because sometimes I know I see some handles that come in that are just white because they've just been scrubbed with sanitizer to death. Do you recommend that?
Yeah, no, like go easy on the handles, like give them a wash if you have to, if they're real, if they're scuzzy, clean them, but don't let them soak, especially if they're wood. Some materials are going to be a little more forgiving, right? Like I think I immediately thought of like the Makusta, like the Korean handle. Remember those, the Korean handle knife? Like those things are indestructible. Scrub away, right? My Carta is pretty close. My Carta is going to be nice and durable. It's not going to give you a hard time. But if you got a wood handle, like, kind of wash them as gently and quickly as possible. Do a good job of drying them off. Don't use super hot water on wood either. It tends to dry the wood out. And if you do notice that they're starting to dry, grab the board wax. Smear some of that on there. It'll put a bunch of life back into them. It'll darken the wood up again. It's Damon says your knife hand is supposed to stay clean anyways. Nasty handles are gross.
Damon?
Agreed.
Oh, agreed. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, I can't agree more. You get how many thumbs up can I give that?
I don't know, but I just had the thought of I'm going to ask Mason if we can get like a gold star thing that we can pop up. You got a gold star, like
listen. E30 Birdie here said, all I do with my handle is wash when needed, dry right away, and then a bit of board wax.
Yeah, it's all you need.
Excuse me.
It's all you need.
Gesundheit. A sneeze there. Sorry.
Another thing, if we're talking about taking care of your new knife, honing the knife, is probably a good thing to know. All right. You want to make sure, honing rod, strop, a little bit of edge maintenance, right? It doesn't matter what knife you get. They're going to stay sharper. Like we always tell you, like Japanese knives stay sharper longer because they're made out of harder steel, right? The harder the steel gets, the longer the knife, the sharper the knife's going to get, the longer it's going to stay sharp. That's like the Knifewear Coles notes.
Yeah.
You want a job at Knifewear, memorize what I just said, and just walk into the store and say it one day. They'll probably hire you. But it doesn't matter what knife you get. You do need to put a bit of work in yourself, right? You don't get to go and buy a car and never have to put gas in it. The cars still need gas. Knives.
I've never put gas in my car, and it's 3 years
You
old.
plug it in. You plug in your car.
I've never put
Every
gas
car
in my car
requires some
my car's
form
3
of
years
fuel.
old. 3 years old. I've never put gas in it.
All right.
I've never put gas in it, Chris.
You're just being pedantic.
I am. But I've never put gas in my car.
All right. You need to make sure your car will turn on by giving it the appropriate amount or type of fuel.
Oh, yeah. I give mine electric fuel.
There you go. Yeah.
Are you going home now, Chris?
Yeah. I didn't take enough Advil for your nonsense today.
Okay. So
Anyways.
how long between sharpenings? I take my knife home and I use it.
Yeah.
And then I use it for a couple of days and it feels dull. What do I do then? Come back to the shop and complain to you?
Some do. Some do. Others grab their
I didn't
honing
make
rod.
this up. I didn't just search, my creative memory bank.
Yeah. You just grab your honing rod, give a few swipes, see if that fixes it. Probably will. What do you got there? I got one too.
Hold it like this.
Yeah, you want about a 15-degree angle, right? So, that you can't see that knife at all, can you?
I can see it.
Yeah.
Well,
so about there. Bit of a. This is really awkward for me. I'm up like way too high. But you know what? Be nice and gentle. Don't be too hard on your knife. I'm much more comfortable going like this. But the important part is you're not going too fast. You're paying attention to what you're doing. Make sure that angle is accurate and consistent. don't push too hard. Don't go too fast. If you're trying to keep up with, chefs you see on TV or just flicking that thing around, just slow down.
If you watch Gordon Ramsay's video about how to sharpen a knife, don't do what he does.
Don't do that.
Don't do what he does. He's abusive to everything, knives included. Also, at all Knifewear stores right now, for a limited time only, if you have a Gordon Ramsay book junking up your house, you can send us bring us a Gordon Ramsay book, and we'll give you a free knife sharpening.
It's true.
And then you won't have to look at that Gordon Ramsay book anymore.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. I have a secret plan.
Yeah.
I have a secret
plan. Kevin and I have been sending text messages about Gordon Ramsay books. That's me texting on my phone. It actually looks more like I'm playing Nintendo.
Dogmeat says, is mineral oil okay for the handle? It sure is. That's what the board wax we have, but the wax also gives a bit of protection. So I like the mineral oil.
The oil soaks in and the wax seals it up.
Yeah.
So what's Gabriel saying here?
Oh, he's just trying to get me to ride my bike to Ottawa. No,
he's being nice. I think he's being nice. I can't read it when I put it up there, though. I got it.
You can't read it, Chris.
No, it's too long. It's too long. I can't read it.
He's talking about. He's saying when he was a young man of a young 55, somebody would come to the neighborhood and on a bicycle, clanging a bell, and he'd get your knife sharpened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says I should do it. So there you go.
It'd be fun.
I don't think
you don't have a bicycle that sharpens knives.
I would buy a bicycle that sharpens knives if I could find one. I like bicycles.
Sounds like a project. Andrew, this is a good question. How do you clean the ceramic honing rod?
Oh, so mine, if you look, is getting a little bit black and grungy. I tend to just scrub it with like the green scrubby, like a scrubby that you wash dishes with. But Mike showed me another way where he took his Nagura stone and just and it came out sparkling white and totally cleaned out. So I think that might be a better way. To be honest.
You know, it works pretty good too. Is a Mr. Clean magic eraser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it too. Nagura stone though, that'll last you a lot longer than a Mr. Clean eraser. You'll do it once or twice, and then you have to throw that stupid thing away. So. Some conversation about mineral oil. E30 Birdie has a really good point. If your knife is dull in a couple of days, think about the board they are cutting on. My edges last forever, but I use end grain and Hasegawa. So Hasegawa is a Japanese cutting board for those of you.
And E30 Birdie probably uses a honing rod as well.
Yeah.
In between. Some people that buy knives from us, they don't get a honing rod. And then they just come back in a couple of days and say, this knife was expensive. It's brand new, and it's already dull. Yeah. And they realize all it needs is a little toot-toot on the honing rod.
Yeah. Oh, DJ's got a question about how having too many knives. This is interesting. Interesting thought here. When you have too many knives, how do you choose which ones to use and which ones to store? I have a tank that has been sitting in the closet for months. I just love too much my Takamura. You know what? Use the ones you like. You'll find a reason to pull the tank out of the cupboard.
I might also have a big box of knives that I'm not using at the moment, but every few months I do the switcheroo.
Yeah. I really like the way you word it.
It's fun. Sorry?
I like how you talk about it being, it's like an art gallery. They don't put everything out at once. You know?
So how do you know when you have too many knives? You will know you have too many knives when Chris and I call you at home and say, that's enough. You got too many knives.
Done.
Yeah.
You're done, bud.
That's how you'll know.
Yeah.
And Paul, it turns out we have your text. We have your number, so we can text you.
Yep. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll stop you if you need stopping.
Yeah, I haven't stopped anybody yet.
No.
But if it needs happening, I will.
Yeah. So what we had, like, I don't know. How do you take care of your new Japanese knife? You wash and dry it. You store it safely. You hone it on a regular basis. I guess you use an end grain wood or plastic cutting board. That's kind of it. It's easy. It doesn't have to be hard.
No, it's not. It's easy peasy, really. You
Yeah.
use it, wash it, and dry it, put it back. Smile when you're done. It's like a buddy of mine's got a bike shop, and he always has people ask him, I want a winter bike. How do I do it? And he says, it's really easy. Put on warm clothes, ride your bike to where you're going, and after you get there, get off your bike, and then tell everybody how easy it was. Winter biking solved.
There you go. Easy stuff. Super Burger is asking about Takeda knives.
Okay, Mr. Takeda's not making knives for a bit. He's taking care of some stuff. He will start making knives. I don't know if he is. He was thinking he was going to start in the new year again. So there is no a restock on knives. It's not because we're bad at ordering or because we didn't know what to do. It's just because he's not making knives right now. Taking a bit of a break.
Can't buy them if they're not being made.
Yeah. Chris, why do you have a huge plus just to the right of your head there?
That was a gift.
That was a gift?
It was a gift. Yeah, the Vug
Nice.
gave me that.
That's it's a flag of Switzerland, I'm told, right?
Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it. I'm not much of a flagologist.
No? That is a career, flagology.
Yeah. Yeah, Sven says this has been a strange episode so far. Kevin and Lordy actually talked about the topic this time.
I think what we should talk about, Chris, is your new glasses.
Oh, yeah, I got new glasses. I need them now, it seems. I take them off and the screen goes away.
I like the new glasses. I think they're quite fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're. I like them. There's a cool story for those of you who are in the Ottawa area. Here, I'll plug another Glebe business here.
Ooh.
There's a glasses shop across the road and south a block. It's called Eyes in the Glebe. Imagine if Knifewear sold glasses. It's the same thing.
We should.
Well, I don't know if we should.
I
Maybe
like
we'll let them do it. You like them, but
I like glasses.
you know what? They got a ton of cool stuff in there. The people who work there are really awesome, and they gave me a ton of help. It's the place to go in Ottawa. I don't know. Maybe there's other cool glasses shops. I don't know, but I've been to that one twice, and I really like it. They're really nice, and they took good care of me.
There's one in Calgary called Brass Monocle. That's where I go. They have weird glasses. I like the weird. I could get the ones that everybody else has, or the ones that nobody has.
Yeah,
I like the nobody has ones.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, your buddy Paul says the study of flags is called vexillology. He's wrong. It's called flagology.
Flagology. Yeah, you might want to double check your source there, Paul.
Yeah, flagology.
Pretty sure I said flagology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's how
No V or X and that. Yeah. You know what Paul got for Christmas? Paul got the Home Alone Lego house. Like the Lego kit for the Home Alone
like the
house.
buckets of paint swing and the iron ball.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul says I double check nothing. Yeah. That's Fighting Usic's got a joke for us. What do you call a typo in a headstone? Well,
I don't
is
know.
this somehow part of the joke? I gotta wait for the punchline.
I guess you gotta wait for the punchline. Until then, I'm gonna show you this. This is what I got for Christmas. Oh, what's the punchline? Oh, it's a grave mistake. That's pretty good. Look at this.
What is that?
Yeah, that's the van I got for Christmas.
Wow.
That's me. That's me there, standing there with Stevie Nicks.
Oh wow, that's a very short van.
Yeah, it's a sport van, and it's all electric.
Oh really?
Yeah, I made that part up too. This is like some crazy van from the 70s. I had no idea, but I really like it.
This picture.
You're
just clogging up. You're just clogging it up now with silly pictures, aren't you? I shouldn't have shown you how to do that.
It's not silly. That's a great picture.
Garbage is just going to get mad at us now.
Oh, garbage can suck it.
Yeah, see, now you're
there.
just
Back to Akachan.
There we go.
Again, our little mini take everywhere barbecues. I like these guys. And I like that they're bright red, Chris. I don't know if you know this. I like red.
Oh, I know you like red. Here, Paul sent me a picture of that's the Home Alone Lego house. That's pretty good.
That's funny.
That's
I want to
pretty good.
know, Paul, do the
It's even got Kevin. It's got like the little. It's got the little treehouse in the back. It's got the treehouse in the back.
the zip line?
Yeah, and it's got the plumbing van over on the side.
Ah,
It's got everything.
I love it.
That's a good one. That's what we do for Christmas. That's the majority of our Christmas decorations is we watch Home Alone on repeat for the month of December. So,
It's a classic.
it's a good movie. It's a good movie. And you know what? You can watch it with your kids. That was cool. I can't do that often.
I watch a
There's
lot
been
of films.
two-
I watch a lot of films you wouldn't want to watch with kids.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of movies that I remember from like, you know, the late 80s and early 90s, like movies that I watched as a kid. And then I try to watch them with my kids and they turn out to be quite problematic.
There is that. There is
Like
that.
I put on Justin's got a real knife question. I'm going to answer it in a moment. But before that, I'm going to talk about Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, what is Justin asking real questions for?
Yeah, how dare! Don't you know what this is about? See, we
You know
ruined
where you are.
we ruined it by actually doing a good job for once. Okay, so everyone just read ahead, do your homework, read ahead on Justin's question. I'm going to talk about Kindergarten Cop for a second. So I wanted to watch Kindergarten Cop with my kids, and I put it on. And in the first 10 minutes, you know, Arnold's chasing the guy through the mall and someone gets shot. But you don't even see anyone get shot. You see like they set it up. The camera looks around from around the corner. You hear a gunshot. And then one of the kids pauses the movie and says, "Chris." So this is giving it away because it's one of the two that call me Chris. And says, "People are getting murdered in this movie. Do you really think we should be watching it?" And I said, "Well, no, not now. I don't want to watch it with you anymore. Like, ruin everything." So here we go. I'll answer
So
Justin's
you're getting
question.
policed. You're getting policed by a 13-year-old. That's good.
Yeah, well, 12 even. It's worse. It's worse than that, Kevin, because it didn't even happen this year. If you take care of and regularly hone your knife, how often should you actually do a full sharpen? There's no easy answer to that, Justin.
When you don't like it, and
Yeah.
I know some people will say they just use the honing rod and then touch up on a high grit stone, but I don't think you get the best results that way. I think you get a knife
No.
that's pretty sharp for a long time, but it's not like awesome sharp. So as soon as my knives need it, I start right back at 200 or 1000 and then work my way up, because I just don't think you get that excellent sharpness if you start at a 4000. But E30 Birdie is saying the opposite. So there you go. Everybody's got opinions. So I think for myself, I always resharpen the knife. I just get better results.
Yeah, I do too. Anytime where like Kevin says, like I can get by, but I do a better job. Even if a knife is pretty, like if a knife is pretty good, the lowest I'll go is like we have an 800 grit wheel. Like, and that's like, I'm just touching up my knives. I'll start there. But if I was doing it at home, if I was doing it all by hand, I'd start with the 220. It's just easier.
Yeah, I think so.
You just kind of,
I just get better results.
yeah. I heard a guy, I don't do this very often, but I saw a guy, I watched someone else's, like a sharpening video last week. I don't know how I came across it because I don't really watch many of these. But the guy used a term that I'd never heard before. He called it like when you're like reestablished, like you're just kind of, you know, what we would like, oh, go to the 220, put a new edge on it. The fancy word he used for putting a new edge on it was apexing. You ever heard that before?
I would never say that.
No. No.
It sounds like a thing an edgelord would say, but I don't know what that means either.
See, to me, an edgelord is like that real like Batman's an edgelord. You know, he's all like broody and.
If you met Batman in real life, you wouldn't like him.
No, not a
You
chance.
wouldn't like him.
I don't even really like Batman not knowing him. You know?
Yeah, I don't know Batman.
Yeah, my superpower is money.
Well, a couple of guys went to space recently with that same superpower.
Yeah, well. Yeah, but where are they? They're not here talking about knives. They can't be that cool.
They're not that cool.
No. Yeah.
You
All right.
ever
Well,
met a
okay.
billionaire? They're the worst.
I don't
I met a
maybe.
billionaire a couple years ago, and he shook my hand like he was. Remember when Trump was all the fashion, where Trump was like shaking people's hands and flinging them
And
around,
whipping them around like a helium balloon? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how this guy shook my hand. It made me very punchy. I didn't punch him, but there you go. Very punchy. Chris is coughing. He's choking on his water over there.
Well, I was just about to say that it's clear that ramen broth has been in this cup before. And then I started laughing to myself, and I made myself choke.
You know, Chris, I was out ice fishing yesterday, and I brought soup in my thermos, and it tasted faintly of coffee. But I suspect my next coffee is going to taste faintly of sausage and potato soup.
Oh, for sure. Well, here, Justin's asking us some more sharpening questions. Justin's questions seem to be I like Justin's questions. They make sense.
Well, he asks intelligent questions. Like, I don't know, maybe he hasn't watched this before because this is the most intelligent we've been.
Maybe he's just making us better. Who knows? I'm just finally learning.
Justin Ritchie, please come every time we do a show like this. You ask intelligent questions and keep us on the rails. So you're really like doing a great job. So thank you so much.
Don Penny's off there biting sharks and talking nonsense. Oh, now would you look at that? The next comment Don has right after the one I'm looking at is quite nice. So I'm the asshole. I'm just finally learning how to whetstone. I know what I know. Oh, I know. Is there any sharpeners on the market you guys recommend, or is whetstone the only way to go for Japanese knives?
We were talking about this just before the camera started today.
Yeah.
And I admitted that I've never used a gadget for sharpening.
Yeah.
I don't know how any of them work. I've never used one. So.
I'm curious about some. Like I've seen some that have, and I don't know what any of them are called, but I've seen one where it's like it kind of clamps on the side of the table, and you can it's got arms and protractors, so you can kind of establish angles and stuff. I picture that they would work pretty well. When I look at it, it makes sense, right? Like the operator is in control. It's not. You're not just blindly pulling it through something designed to remove material. That's what I normally try to tell people to avoid. It's just the pull through guys that if you're not paying attention, you know what, maybe they work in a pinch. Maybe they work if you're taking your time. Most of us don't buy a machine that has convenience in mind to really slow down and pay attention to what we're doing. So I think it's a little too easy to make a mess of things. So kind of as a rule, I tell people to avoid those. With a bit of practice, you get to be quite good sharpening by hand. What I like about it, it kind of reminds me, like sharpening by hand with water stones reminds me of the conversations you have in culinary school where they talk about learning how to do it the hard way before you get to do it the easy way. Because once you learn how to do it, like if you're, working by hand and paying attention to pressure and angle and grits and stuff, you might be able to make if you're using one of these other machines or whatnot, you might be able to actually understand what's going on and buy one that you think might do a good job. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now.
You sound like you're talking about method sharpening, where it's method acting. You read the script, you know the character, and you throw the script away. And then,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but about
so you're
sharpening,
you're a method sharpener, is what you recommend.
I think so.
Method sharpening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I saw Nathan popped on here and said something along the lines of laughing at us. If we had a YouTube video in the works where we try some and compare them to whetstones, which there you go. I forgot we were doing that. So we're doing.
if
a
only
video
somebody told me that. How am I supposed to know that if you don't tell me, Nathan?
It was in the meeting last week, Chris, that you were at.
No, it
Remember that
wasn't.
meeting you were at and you played Lego the whole time? And
I
you played
didn't play Lego.
Remember that? And you had the
once.
2 little dinosaur toys and you mostly were just going, I'll eat you, no, I'll eat you, rah, rah. But we were actually having an intelligent meeting like adults. And in that meeting, we talked about this.
That didn't happen. Fighting Usyk says not to be. I'm just ignoring you now. That's what you do to me.
It happened.
Not to be a jerk, but all stones are whetstones. Wet means to sharpen. But when I say the word whetstone, there's no H in it. I'm saying wet because you put water on it, not oil.
Yeah. Fighting Usyk. Go grab an Usyk and beat yourself up.
Yeah. Bam.
Oh.
That's why people show up.
Let's just be mean now. Let's just be mean to people.
Yeah, now we're just gonna. This is what we're actually like. What's Gabriel saying? I can't read.
Gabriel's saying, if I only have 3 or 4 Japanese knives for my entire collection, which type should I absolutely have? You should absolutely have a Gyuto you like the size of, like a 210 or a 230.
He likes a 210. Yep.
You have to have a petty, so something smaller, a slicer, and an akiri. Those 4, you can rule the world with those 4. After that, fun. That's when fun begins.
Then they're toys. Yeah.
Yeah. 4 essential and then fun.
Oh, Justin is very nice. Look what Justin said. Not like mean Fighting Usyk. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. New to your channel, and I'm loving it. Great content. You're really nice. I like you.
Oh, that's nice. He's clearly new to the concept.
We're Fighting Usyk. They're talking a bit more about
Fighting Usyk. Didn't we already tell him to go and hit himself with an Usyk?
Yeah, but I don't actually dislike him. I think he's nice. He's talking about using a KME system for his everyday carry sporting blades, but would not recommend a jigged system for kitchen cutlery.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what I was talking about. A jig, I guess, is what I was talking.
What about a TSPROF system?
I'll look it up. Don't worry, I got the internet here.
What about an EDC? What about an EDC sporting system?
I think we're all talking. That's what I was thinking of. The TSPROF. Yeah, that's like it's got the jig thing. Well, I didn't know it was called that, but that's the one with the it's got the rod and the angles and all that. Huh. Just remember, guys, I went to culinary school because I had to, not because I really wanted to.
Zoan the puppy says they're really useful for people who don't have the time or money to invest in stones. So there you go.
I'll get you a good stone for $45.
Well, yeah, that system's got to cost something too, I think.
Yeah, they're like $500. Those things.
Well, there we go. We've got
the lack of skill and confidence. I want to just kind of touch on that because it's like anything, right? It's practice. Bicycles are no good for people who lack the skill and confidence to ride a bike. But you got to practice. Just find a knife you don't give a shit about. Play with that one.
Or mail it to us or bring it into one of our stores.
Yeah. I've heard of the Lansky sharpener. Never really used it.
Bob Lansky. He emailed me. He emailed me once and told me I should have one for my stores. And I said, okay.
Was he going to give it to you? Or?
Well, that's what I thought. Apparently, he wasn't going to give it to me. He wanted me to buy one.
Oh, it sounded like a very aggressive sales call.
It was a very aggressive sales call.
Yeah. Fighting Usyk is saying only the cheap systems are inexpensive. A quality one will cost far more than a few good bench stones. I forget that some people call them bench stones.
Yeah, that's like a carpenter's term, I think.
Yeah.
Kuhn
says, yeah, it's a good, I like that too. That makes sense because that makes me picture like you got the stone holder and it's on the workbench. Kind of makes sense. Could you swap the Nakiri for a Santoku in those 4 knives? Yeah, sure you could. Yeah. Because I often, I break it down without even choosing, without even naming shapes. I say you need a little one, a middle one, a big one, and then a fun one. Right? So your little one is a petty, and maybe you're really small and a 90 mil petty is the right one for you, and maybe you're really big and 150 mil is best. And then you get your medium knife, which is normally a Santoku or a Nikiri. Maybe it's a 210 Gyuto, and then your big knife is a 240 Gyuto. And then your fun knife is like, what's the other thing you like to do, right? Do you do a lot of butchery? You need a boning knife? Do you need a carving knife? Do you need a bread knife? You know, that's my little thing.
I like it. JS says, I just saw a video of shopping for knives at Kappabashi Street in Tokyo, and she bought a whetstone but uses a pull-through sharpener because she scratched the Damascus. Tragic. Yeah, you live and learn, right? I don't scratch the Damascus when I sharpen knives anymore because I figured it out. Yeah. So, yeah, that happens, I guess. Yeah. Bummer.
Fighting Usyk is saying, barring physical limitations, you'll always be better off with bench stones. I think it's just a matter of practice, right? It's kind of getting your hands on it, paying attention to what you're doing, figuring out you just need to it's trial by error, right? And this, stick with your stones and focus on your fundamentals. You'll get it. We all make mistakes, but Usyk is so encouraging.
He is, and we were so mean. Well, I was.
And we were rude, yeah.
I apologize, Usyk. Chris texted me and told me to say that.
Chris Armitage.
Chris Lord texted me and told me to say mean
things. Chris Garbatage. Did it, not me. Not me. I got a bit saucy there for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay, Don Penny with the real questions. No longer bragging about surfing with sharks and stuff.
Yeah.
He once told me that a boa constrictor tried to constrict him, and then a boa constrictor died. I don't know how that happened.
No.
Anyway, he says, I don't have a Yanagiba, and my Sujis are just 270. Why doesn't Don, who is the brisket king of East Ontario, why doesn't he have a long slicer yet?
I don't know.
That's weird. But anyway, he says, should I get a Yanagiba or a longer Suji? Yes.
You could have both, I suppose. That's probably what he wants us to say.
Well, I would. I would get that 360 from Moritaka.
Moritaka, yeah.
That massive 360, and then get a Yanagiba for fun.
Yeah. I don't know, Don, do you cook much fish? I know Don's got some strong opinions about certain vegetables.
Yeah, he likes onions quite a bit. Puts them on everything.
Yeah, and I think I saw something the other day. He doesn't like bell peppers either.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about fish. We've never really talked about fish. So, Fighting Usyk says, idea when the chef presses will be back in stock. I think they're back in stock right now. I've got some in the store. Let me shout. Let me shout.
They should be back. And he's already complained to the TV boss who was on here earlier, Garbatage.
Oh, that's the right thing to do. That's the right move, Usyk. Because you can't tell us anything. We're terrible.
Oh yeah, don't complain to us because it won't go anywhere. I have a 210 Gyuto, a 270 Suji, and a couple of petties. What's my next knife? I know. 165 millimeter Nikiri.
Yeah, that's the right move.
I think so.
Yeah, Usyk, we've got the 8-ounce ones in the Ottawa store. I'll take a look on the website just to double check for you.
And Gabrielle, there you go, agrees. Nikiri, rock on. You know what, Chris? It's kind of the end. Is there any more news we have to talk about? We've got some videos coming up. We've got Naoto in this slot next week doing his professional sharpening thing.
Yeah.
We've got on the 31st of this month, the next video of Sharp Knives Rock on the Monday with photography and bacon and a 3-knife giveaway. So we're giving away 3 knives that day. So tune in to get a free knife. And they're good ones. They're the Hadayuki Zanpaw, which is the last.
You'll get this is one of them.
And this here is one of them that we'll be giving away also. So I've got the petty. You've got the 240. It looks like.
Yeah, I got a
I think
240.
Naoto's got the Nikiri. We're going to use them, touch them up, and then give those away. So there's that. We've got more reaction videos coming out. Apparently, they've published a reaction video where Chris and I watch. They make us watch stupid videos and put beer.
Yeah.
Supposed to be nice. I don't know if we're nice. I haven't watched, so I can't. I was grouchy that day.
Yeah, I was drunk, so it might explain a little bit, you know. Okay, so we talked about Sharp Knives Rock January 31st. Naoto's next week on the 25th. Keep an eye out for a bunch of the Knifewear team are partaking in this year's Operation Come Home $24 challenge, where in an effort to raise awareness and some money for a really great charity, a bunch of us are committing to only spending $24 on our groceries for a week. Kevin and I both did it last year.
It was horrible.
And it was horrible, but we raised a buttload of money. Like, I did math the other day with Nathan, and I think we raised about $15,000. And that was largely because Kevin ate a pierogi that he wasn't supposed to. And there was a whole lot of support from people watching the videos and you know, folks who come into the stores and friends and family, and it was great. Like, I'll stand up on Kevin. Probably still has the instant coffee.
I've saved it for this year.
Now and again.
It's in my office here. I've saved it.
Yeah, he's got it right there. So, I'll get up on my soapbox for a second. I sit on the board of directors with Operation Come Home. They do excellent work day in, day out, trying to help take care of some people who really need it. If you know anybody who is under the age of 30 and needs a hand, you should send them over to Operation Come Home. There is, Kevin said, some new videos. We know about that. Make sure you like this one if you're
as hard as that is.
As hard as it might be, click on a like. Usually someone tells us how many likes we've got. Yeah. Oh, that's true. MRK says you can't reuse stuff from last year, otherwise you're exceeding your $24 limit. Now, I will say last year, by the time my $24 challenge was over, I went bananas. And remember, I made like eggs Benedict for breakfast. And then I went out and I bought a dry aged ribeye.
I had a ribeye and a Caesar salad, baked potatoes that cost more than $24.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, like and subscribe. You know what? There's all kinds of good stuff coming out on the channel these days. Maybe this is a good opportunity to give Nathan a really big high five. Nathan's been working really, really hard to make the rest of us look a lot better. If you like the content that you're seeing on the Knifewear channel, that's probably because Nathan works really hard. And it's not because I ramble a bunch and drink before I go to work. It's because Nathan does a really good job. So like the videos and subscribe to the channel. You'll make him feel really good, and he deserves it. Keep an eye out in the shops for the new grills and the fridge magnets. Did you have a magnet? You were going to show it, but I don't think we talked about it. We had these magnets made that have got all your it's a culinary cheat sheet. It's got like some, they're $5. What are they? $5, $9? I don't know.
Yeah, they're $9. Somewhere. But it's got like all your measurements, like your cups to milliliters and ounces to pounds and ounces to kilograms, all that kind of stuff. It's got the temperatures you'd want to cook your meats at, that sort of thing. It's got everything you need.
It's got all the shit that you want to know while you're in the kitchen, but your hands are messy and you don't want to touch your phone. Like you'd like look it up on your phone, but then you got like chicken on your phone or something. And now you can just look at the fridge and you don't need to do that. I don't know if other people go through things like that.
It's standard.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else before we officially sign off?
Justin's got more questions about starting with cheaper stones. I don't know. I always start with better stuff. You'll get better results. If you're looking on our website, grab the Knifewear starter kit. They're inexpensive and they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, E30 Birdie is now just saying you should buy something that we don't sell. E30 Birdie.
I'm going to say that Sharon stones are Shapton. That's
we've got
I think
Shapton
there's a
stones.
typo there. There's a typo there.
We've got Shapton.
At least that's
I prefer the nano ones. Anyway.
Yeah.
Go to a store where you can trust them and talk to them, or ask us questions. We'll help you find the right ones. If you're really interested in sharpening, tune into our YouTube channel. There's tons of sharpening videos. Tons.
Yeah.
Absolute tons of them. And
I think next week Naoto's sharpening I think he's just like sharpening a Santoku. I think it's kind of next week. I think is like back to basics. So make sure you tune in. Just like Justin, same time next week. Tune in and ask Naoto all your questions. Like Naoto's going to be all set up with the stones. He can show you what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're just talking about it right now, but he'll show you what's going on.
He'll be doing well because he's got skills. You and I just.
Kevin showed me how to do all this, so.
It took me most of an hour after we drank coffee.
Yeah. It's really not that hard. It just takes a bit of like, like sharpening it's not. Sharpening's not hard. You just need to pay attention to what you're doing. Right? And there's like little steps, little decisions along the way that'll change the outcome. But it's not difficult.
Nah.
Like really, like I figured it out. I've gotten to be pretty good at it. I'm
If
not
you
a genius.
want,
It doesn't take any magic powers.
If you want to learn to sharpen, get the gear, get the videos, watch Naoto, get the sharpening book I'm working on. Naoto and I are writing a sharpening book. We should be ready for November or December. Hopefully October. It's on the shelves. And E30 Birdie, thank you for fixing it. I felt bad throwing an elastic at the screen.
Are you shooting elastics at the screen to punish E30 Birdie? Oh,
those.
Better them than me.
I can't hit you. You're far away.
No, you'll get me. You'll make up for it, though.
Oh. Hat coming soon, Kevin. Oh, right. Yeah?
You got a hat?
I don't know. I think
there was conversation about like
there was, but then we sent them all off to Japan. We should make more hats. We're gonna make more hats, Chris. We'll do that.
There we go. We're gonna make hats.
Make hats. MRK says practice by offering to sharpen your neighbor's knives. I used to tell people that all the time. Sharpen your neighbor and your mom and your aunt and your sister's knives, so that when you screw them up, you're gonna make them better than they were. You're gonna bring them back. They're gonna say, "This is great. Thanks." Woo-hoo. And that's that. So practice on someone else's before you do your own.
Yep.
Not that hard. You'll get good at it pretty quick, to be honest.
Gabriel's asking, can handle replacement. We got two Gabriels on the go right now. Can handle replacement be done at home? Do we sell replacements? We do. Let us know what you're looking for. I don't know if you could just find a handle on the website right now. But if you send an email to hello@knifewear.com and you say, I need a replacement handle for a knife this size, we can make some recommendations.
And I'm sure we have a video for it.
Yeah. If we don't, we'll make one.
We'll make one right away. So you can watch them.
Yeah.
We'll make the video just for you if we don't have one. That's easy.
Yeah. Easy stuff. So E30 Birdie is saying Naoto is a god of sharpening. You know what's nice, though, is that a lot of people feel this way about Naoto, but Naoto is very humble. And you can ask him whatever you need to ask, and he won't make you feel dumb. He'll make sure that you understand.
He saved that for me.
That's what it is to be the boss at Knifewear, is everyone just is a smart ass with you and gives you shit all the time.
Just get picked on a lot.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. It's because he made us this way. That's what happened.
Who did?
You.
I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to myself.
Gabriel says Masakage Kiri Petty 150.
Whoa, great knife. Great knife.
Easy stuff. Easy stuff. I'm sure we've got a handle for that knife around. Yeah, just shoot a message over to hello@knifewear.com.
And then
So
ask
I'll
him
get
for a video that we promised that it was made. And if it's not made, then demand a video.
Then we know what Nathan's doing.
I think he's watching still. Nathan, make a video about handles.
Putting a handle on. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll say it again. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell. I think that's what we do to subscribe. We click on the bell. Lets us know when we get new videos. So then you can watch things like Sharp Knives Rock and win a knife. That's fun. We've given away a bunch of knives in the last few months. It's been a lot of fun.
We have.
So,
and Nathan says the handling video is on the list. So Nathan, bump it up to the top. If Gabrielle buys a handle, bump that video up to the top.
right to the top. All right. Well,
Straight to the top.
right to the top of the pops.
What?
Well, we should.
You're
I don't
old.
know. I was thinking about that Bo Selecta video. You guys want to watch something really weird? Type in Bo Selecta. You're already on YouTube.
B-O space Selecta.
Like select with an A on the end. You're already on YouTube. I'll give you permission to stop watching our video. We're gonna say goodbye anyways, and go watch something that guy made. It's really twisted and weird. I don't know if I've ever watched it while the sun was still up, and without a couple jazzy bears or wobbly pops. So
Left-handed pops.
left. They have those too. I haven't had one yet though.
I haven't seen those yet.
Oh, you can get them in Ontario.
Oh.
Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll sip on one of those while we do this.
Maybe we should have a Jazzy Bear taste off on here.
Maybe. So if you guys want to watch us have a Jazzy Bear taste off, just mail your favorite Jazzy Bears to the Ottawa Knifewear. And I'll give you a thorough review. So, all right. Well,
here we go.
What are we doing? You saying
Well,
goodbye?
there's one more comment here. Thanks for the show. I have to go thin my great freaking chef's knife.
That probably means girlfriend's chef's knife.
Oh, I thought it
People
was
put
great
GF for
freaking
girlfriend. It could be great freaking chef's knife. Because it
gluten-free,
sucks.
gluten-free chef's knife.
Gluten-free. They all are, aren't they?
Oh, don't know. Just the ones marked gluten-free are the ones you can trust.
I'm going to start putting stickers. I'm going to start putting stickers on knives and charge an extra $30.
Gluten-free.
It's gluten-free. This tank is gluten-free. It costs
Free of
twice.
trans fats.
Yeah. Low in
All right.
sodium.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
26 brave souls watched all the way to the end of this.
Yeah.
I
You got
apologize.
real troopers. Real troopers.
I
All right. I'm going to
apologize.
hit the button, Kevin. Kevin, say goodbye. I'm going to hit the button. Bye-bye.